Good evening and welcome to True Dogman Encounters. I'm your host, Marvin Allen. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please go and do so. Like, comment, and share. As y'all all know, y'all been asking me about the tyjay's encounter, and it's a 3-part series. So I thought that since I wasn't doing nothing tonight, I would give y'all part 2 of her encounters. But before I get into the encounter, I just want y'all to know, man, this girl right here is a special person. She's brave, and I don't know too many people that's gonna come in contact the way that she came in contact with them. And it's just amazing, man, because you never can say never, because that's something we don't know. Because this right here is a prime example. And I always said it, I don't think that all these creatures are bad. I think some are good and some are bad. And her testimony, her sighting, her encounter is credibility to let you know that some of these creatures are good and not here to hurt a person. Why did they bond with her the way that they did? Only tyjay knows that. She might not know the answer because I asked her, and she said she don't even know. So hopefully she'll find out what it was about her that made these creatures draw to her. So without further ado, let's jump right into this encounter. Now, like I said, tyjay was watching this creature lay there, lick his hand and look at her, lick his hand and look at her. And she could clearly see that this creature was hurt. And tyjay said she stood there because there's nothing that she could do. So what tyjay said she did, she said she walked down a few steps and stopped. She stopped because she said she heard noise coming from the tree line. And when she looked, she said it was those other 2 black dogmen. She stepped back up on the top step and she watched as those 2 black creatures came down there. They came over there by the alpha male. They started sniffing and walking around him, rubbing their head on him. And she said it was just amazing because somehow she said that they knew that this creature was hurt. And they kept doing that over and over and over again. And she said they was making some kind of noise. She said she can't duplicate it, but she said these creatures was making some kind of noise where this alpha male understood what they were saying. So tyjay looking and she watching this. She said then one of those black creatures turned and looked in her direction. And she said its expression changed. She said that one creature made a low growl and started to walk towards tyjay. She said that alpha male roared so loud that other one stopped in his tracks, and it turned and it looked at the alpha male, and they locked eyes. And then that other one looked back at tyjay, and then it put his head down. This is what tyjay said this creature did. These creatures understand each other. It's like they got their own language, she said. Because the creature just looked down. So the alpha male, it got up on all fours. She said it looked at Tyjay again. And she said she looked into his eyes. And she knew that that creature was hurt. So they all three turned and they walked across the property and went back up into the tree line. Tyjay watched as they disappeared into the night. And then she went in the house. She say she went in the house, went in her room, and she looked out the window because she couldn't sleep. Because she knew that this gray creature was still on their property. So Tyjay's looking out the window, but she don't see nothing. So she finally lay down and go to bed. Tyjay say she gets up the next morning. She don't get this feeling like she get when these creatures are around. And I still ask her to this day, Tyjay, what feeling are you talking about? She say, Marvin, I can't explain it. She said, I just get a feeling when these creatures are around. So she get up, she get herself together, and she goes in the kitchen. Her grandmother's is already in there, and she sits down. The grandmother says she looked it in her grandbaby's face. And she said, Tyjay, what's wrong? You don't look like yourself. And Tyjay said, one of the creatures is hurt. And the grandmother said, what you mean hurt? Did none of the guys shoot it? I told you they didn't. She said, no, Grandma, I'm not talking about them. It's another one of them things down here, and it's a gray one. And I seen it running through the tree line. It's not part of their pack. It's not. Because the black one went after it. And when it came back, it was walking on all fours, but you could see that it was hurt. She said she sat there and she got so emotional about this creature because you could tell that she truly cares. So her grandmother said, I never seen no gray one around here. She said, Grandma, I know. I seen it. I'm telling you, it's around here. So the grandmother told Tyjay, she said, babe, it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. It's nothing you can do. It's nothing you could do, Tyjay, so stop worrying yourself. Tyjay looked at her grandmother, she said, and she said a tear ran down her eyes. Because now you see the type of emotions that she have for these creatures and how she don't want nothing to happen to them. So they finished talking. Tyjay gets up and she says she goes outside. She stands at the rail of the back porch and she put her hands up there and she looks off into the woods, waiting to get that feeling. But she says she don't get it. She says she waited there for hours and hours and she didn't get it. Tyjay went back in the house frustrated and mad. She didn't even eat dinner. She just went in her room and she laid down, waiting to get that feeling. Tyjay says she got up to use the bathroom. And after she used the bathroom, she went to go get something to drink. Now, when she was drinking her water, and Tyjay says she heard this clearly. Tyjay says she heard a loud howl. But she didn't have that feeling. So Tyjay walks and she opens the back door. She cracks it and she peeks, but she don't see nothing. So she opens it up a little more. And she looks and she gazes off into the darkness inside the wood line. And she looks and she see a set of eyes. But these eyes aren't the color of the other ones. That's how she know that it's this gray one. She said she could see this thing walk out on all fours because she said this thing was bigger than the other ones. It walks out on all fours and it looks over in Tyjay's direction. And she know this thing is looking at her. She said this thing started to sniff the air and it's making loud sniffing sounds because she can hear it from the door. And then it take a few steps and it walks some more towards Tyjay. She slams the door and she lock it. She runs and she goes in her room and she looks out the window. The creature stayed there for about 10 seconds, Tyjay said. And it turned and it walked and left to its right. And then cut up and went inside to the tree line. Tyjay sat on the bed, pondering and thinking all night. She can't help but to think about these other creatures. Because she say this gray one is way bigger than them. And she said it's just massive. So Tyjay finally falls asleep. Tyjay said about 4 in the morning, she woke up. She woke up and she said she looked at the ceiling. Then Tyjay said she got that feeling. She got the feeling of when she know one of these creatures are around. She slides to the edge of the bed and she runs over to the window. She looks out. She's watching. She looking to the left and she looking to the right of the tree line. She said then she can see a set of yellow eyes appear. But it's only one. It's only one black creature. And it starts to walk out. And when it walks out, it's on all fours. Then it stands. And then she said, it's like this thing just took off quick, running towards Tyjay's window. But she said it stopped. It stopped when it got near the porch. And then it kindly walked over to Tyjay's window. Tyjay said this creature looked into her eyes. Tyjay said she looked into this creature's eyes. Not understanding the word because this creature did not speak to her. It just looked at Tyjay. And she said to her, and these is her words, how she give it to me is how I'm going to pass it on to y'all. She said that this creature had a look of concern. Now, however you want to take it, take it. But this is what she said she got from it. She said it looked at her again. And she said it gave her like a grin. and it turned and it left. It walked from the window, dropped to all fours, and she said it just took off back into the night. Tyjay stayed there until the creature was out of sight. She said she go back and sit on the bottom of the bed, and she thinking. Now she thinking that one of these creatures is gonna get killed by this other one. And she don't want that to happen. So Tyjay lay down. She finally fall asleep. Tyjay says she wakes up late. So when she get up, she goes in there. She tell her grandmother, she said, "Grandma, why you didn't wake me up?" She said, "I peeped in there at you. You was sleeping so, so good. I just let you sleep because I know you was probably tired. And I know you got a lot on your mind." She said, "Yeah, Grandma, I do. I don't want nothing to happen to him. Before that, I just wish they would leave. Just go somewhere else where this gray one ain't at." So the grandmother asked Tyjay if she want to fix her something to eat. So Tyjay said, yeah. And, the grandmother fixed her something. She sat down and she ate it. Tyjay then get up and proceed to go back in her room. The grandmother said, "You're not going out?" She said, "No, Grandma, I just don't feel like it." She said she went back in her room and she sat on her bed. She can't get the thought out her head about these creatures. So she said she sat on the edge of the bed, and then she gazed up and she looks over out the window. She don't see nothing. So she said after about 10 minutes, she gets back up, she walks back out, and she goes on the back porch. She goes on the back porch, and she just stand there, and she's just looking. And she's mad because she's not getting that feeling that she get when these creatures are around. She said after about an hour of just standing out there, she was just getting so mad. She said right when she was getting ready to go in the house, she could hear something bolting through the tree line. And it's running. But she don't get this feeling. But she can hear something running through the tree line. And when this thing appear, it's this gray one. And it walks out on all fours. And then she said it stands. She said the thing was just huge. Tyjay said it starts sniffing the air. And then it starts to growl. She said that's when it went over to a tree, turned, and it faced the tree. This is what she said. She said this thing faced the tree. And she said she think it urinated. She said she think this thing urinated. So then this creature turned and it looked at Tyjay again. And then it starts to walk in Tyjay's direction. Now Tyjay, she not used to this creature. So Tyjay, she backs up and gets to the back door. She said that's when this great creature dropped down on all fours and starts to run in her direction. She quickly runs in the house and she locks the door. And then she runs in her room. She looks out the window. She said that creature stopped. It couldn't have been no more than 10 feet from the bottom of the steps. Tyjay scared now because her grandmother's there and she don't want nothing to happen to her. So the creature walks in the direction of where Tyjay window at. Tyjay said she was standing in the window when this gray creature comes around and it looks up at her, but it's on all fours. It looks up at Tyjay. Tyjay backs up. She sits on the bed and she puts her head down. And she says she got her face in her hands. And she says she start crying because she's not used to this creature. She's not used to this thing. So she don't know what's on this thing mind. So she take her face out her hands and she looks back over to the window. She stands up. The creature is still out there. It's on all fours. And she say when she looked at it, it's just walking around like it's pacing. Tyjay said she didn't never close her curtains because she was so used of the black ones coming around. Tyjay said she closes her curtains because she don't want to look at it. She said she can't stand to look at it because she know this one is evil, like the brown one. So Tyjay goes back in the kitchen. Her grandma was sitting at the table. She said, "Grandma, I don't want you to be alarmed or upset, but that gray one is out there." Now, Tyjay said that she didn't want to do this, but she asked her grandmother to call her friend and ask if they could come over. This is something that she did never want to do. So her grandmother called her friend. So when he got on the phone, the grandmother said she told him, "I know things didn't go right, but I need you to come back over because it's getting worse." The grandmother said that's all she just told him, that it's getting worse. So he told her on the phone, "It might be a little late when I get there, but I'll come because I have to grab a couple of guys and we'll be over there." She said, "Thank you so much." So she hangs up the phone with him. Tyjay and the grandmother just sat there, waiting. Hour pass, 2 hour pass, 3 hour pass. Finally, they get a knock at the door. It's the grandmother's friend. And this was the husband, best friend. They used to hang out all the time. And he brought a couple of more guys with him. So they comes in the house, they sit down and they talk. The grandmother says, "My granddaughter was outside today and she seen, one of these wild dog things and it came all the way up to the house and we just don't want it around here no more because she's really scared and I'm getting scared as well." So they said, "Okay, we'll see what we could do." So they go out and they sits on the back porch and they post up all night. They don't even get no sleep all night to see if they could see what they was telling them. So they said at about 2 o'clock in the morning, one of the guys said, "Hey, I hear something into the tree line. Listen." They said they was real quiet and they could hear what sounded like sticks breaking. They stepping on leaves, something. They know it's something walking inside the wood line. So one of the guys catch a glance of some eye shine. To their left, the same position where that gray creature used to run. It catch some eye shine to the left. They look. He say, look over there. It's something over there. One of the guys grabs his rifle, locks the scope in on it. They say as soon as he locked his scope in on it, the eye sign just moved. Poof. It just darted out the way. And he said, what the? And they said, what? What's wrong? I lost it. I don't see it no more. He said it was just there though. So they stayed out there all night. This thing don't come back. So that morning they went in the house. The grandmother made them something to eat and stuff and coffee and, you know, what you would do when guests come over. So they sat down and they talked. They said, we did catch a glance of something out there last night, but it darted when I put the scope on it. You know, it just got out of there like it saw it or something. And tyjay said, well, what color were the eyes? They said, oh, they wasn't yellow. It was like an amber color. And she was like, oh, okay. And they was like, why you ask? Have you seen them before? She was like, I mean, I seen that, you know, it's a gray one out here, a gray wild dog. This what tyjay say. Because she didn't want to get caught up and say the wrong thing out her mouth. She said, I think it's just a gray wild dog out here. They say gray. You sure it ain't like a coyote or a wolf or something? She was like, no, trust me, it's not. So they eat. They finish talking a little bit. They say they don't get no activity for 2 days. tyjay didn't even get that feeling. Because for somehow, it's like, and these her words, she said it's like these creatures know when somebody else come around because they won't make their presence. So they say a few days go past, no activity. On the 4th day, they out there. And this is like mid-afternoon. The guy said, right when the sun was going down. Wasn't dark, but it was getting dark. One of the guys, he looks and he sees something on all fours by a tree. And he taps his friend. He said, there it go. There it go. And it's the gray one. He taps his friend and say, there it go. There it go. But what messed their head up is when this gray creature stood up on his hind leg. The guy said he locked it in on his scope and he fired twice. Ta-ta! Striking this creature in the chest. And he know he hit it because he can hear the sound. That. He said, and when he hit this creature, it backed up. They say, what the is it? They said it backed up and it let out this loud howl growl. And his friends say, what the is that? They said this thing growled at him. And then it turned and then it took off. They went in the house and they say, what the is that we just shot? That's not no dog. And they say, what are you talking about? tyjay say, what are you talking about? They say this thing that I shot, it stood up on its hind legs. That's not no dog. She say, look, I don't know what you're talking about. I know I seen a gray, you know, wild dog out there on all fours. tyjay trying to throw these guys off because she know these black creatures still be on her grandmother property. He said, I did hit it. I don't know where it went. They said, but in the morning, we'll see if we can track it. tyjay say, no, if y'all hit it, maybe it's going to go somewhere and die. tyjay trying to get them to leave. This what she's saying. She said, no, y'all don't have to track it. You know, maybe it's just going to go somewhere and die. They said, no, we're going to track it. The next day, they go out. And they go out hunting to track this thing down. They follow from the spot where he hit it at, and they followed a blood trail because they could see droplets. It would stop, and then the blood trail would start up again. It would stop, and then the blood trail would start up again. They could see where this thing stepped at because they said they seen prints. And they said it wasn't no ordinary prints. These was big canine prints. So they found it in the direction of where this gray creature ran. And they following it. They walking and they walking and they walking. And they said all of a sudden, the blood just stopped. But they kept walking. They said, I can't understand. The blood just stopped. It's like it didn't leak no more. And he told his partner, he said, what the hell is it? What bleed and then stop? So they walked for another quarter mile. Then they turned and came back because they lost the trail. They goes back. When they gets back in tyjay and them grandmother house, they say, we found a blood trail. We walked it for a good distance, and then we lost it. It's like the blood trail stopped. And tyjay say, what do you mean it stopped? They say, just what I said, it stopped. It's like this thing stopped bleeding. I don't know. You asking me something I don't know. I came here to help y'all out. I did what I had to do. I tried to track this thing, whatever it is, but we lost its trail. So tyjay said, so you don't know if it's dead or what? He said, look, I'm going to tell you again. We lost its blood trail. So only one thing we can do is we'll stay another day to see if this thing come back. So that's what they did. But they would sit outside. If they had to use the bathroom, they would go in, use the bathroom, come back out. They kept their word and they stayed there till morning. No action. So they went in the house, told the grandmother, look, I guess if you have any more problems out this, you know, you got my number, just give me a call. And the grandmother said, can you not please tell anyone what y'all seen here today? I said, what do you mean? That's not a dog. People need to know about these things, whatever they is. And tyjay say, please, can you not say anything? Just please don't. I don't want nobody coming on my grandmother's property. So the guy gave them his word that he wouldn't say nothing about it. And he kept his promise because he didn't. So they left. tyjay went in her room and she said she just stared out the window. And she said days would pass, but she would never get that feeling. So I'm going to stop there. I'm going to upload this and just get ready for chapter 3.